I hear that you've been really sipping on that VR Kool-Aid. So before, which is nice because you guys know I like to talk very quickly, and it's nice to know that I have a comrade over there who really So hold on, I'm gonna get my. There we go. There it is. That's that guy.
Excellent. All right.
So wait. Okay. How about you tell me what you want me to talk about in terms of VR? You've got that bug. Poor Megan over there. She's in the real space.
Actually, Megan has to say
Hand
something.
me the headset.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, I've seen photos of her wearing it. I just assumed they strapped it into it unwillingly.
No.
Like you'd lost the bet.
I think it looks pretty good on me.
You know what? It really brings out your eyes, Megan.
I'll wear it for the rest of the show. Here's the microphone. I really did like the PlayStation VR. I enjoyed it. I only played Batman, and it was awesome. I like being in the story. I felt like I was a baby Bruce Wayne. It felt scary and good.
Nice. Now, I have not gotten a PlayStation VR review kit. I am not as cool as you. Kyle Orland at Ars Technica has our PlayStation VR, but he did talk at length about it. I assume you guys have talked about it, but the one thing that I got to try out here in the Seattle area, there's a game called Wayward Sky, which I will be writing about soon, which is what I like to call family's first VR. It's not a game. It's not a story. It splits the difference. It's simple, interactive stuff with some really cool theatrical staging. These guys at Uber Entertainment in the Seattle area, these guys don't pick you up in their car. They make video games. They have put together a really cool theatrical presentation in terms of understanding if you are sitting in a theater, how do you perceive a scene as opposed to these sort of 360-degree videos where you're expected to spin all around the place. They really understand what it is to watch content in VR and make it feel like you're there without making your neck hurt. Wayward Sky, I think, is the sleeper hit of PlayStation VR. I absolutely recommend, if for any reason you know someone who gets PlayStation VR in the next week or so, to try it out. As Kyle and I have talked about in the past, it sort of splits the difference between the incredibly expensive computer-specific VR and these cheapo cell phone VR things. They all fit the VR bill in a certain way. PlayStation VR splits the diff, does it pretty successfully. It's not the best thing ever in terms of VR. It's got some swimmy issues where the image sort of moves at a slightly different rate than your head and things like that. But Wayward Sky is cool. Batman, I'm hearing really good things about. I haven't gotten to play that one yet. And Res Infinite, if you guys haven't gotten to try that one out, you've heard me go on about it. You're about to get your shot at it. It is so good. It is transcendental. You're going to squeegee that third eye. It's going to be a wonderful time.
You're going to wipe off your sweaty forehead because, wow, you played a lot of VR today.
I have a question.
Right.
I have a question for Sam. How do you get eye makeup off of your VR headset? Because I just got it all over the PlayStation VR.
You know, I like to use a very light coat of foundation here, and I really like to bring out the pink in my forehead with just, I find that the sweatiness of a VR headset is its own glow. So my answer to you is it seems like only men are designing these kits, and things like that absolutely show. Being able to hand a giant headset off to someone who might want to wear makeup and try something out. I'm not sure if Google's VR kit, the fabric basis of it, is any better for that or not. I do think the Oculus kit might be better for that in the way that it fits, but it does let more light in. VR is one of these things where they're trying to keep all the light in here and keep you immersed, as it were. So your makeup game might get lost to your virtual reality game. If you want to do the venture capital thing, I'm really into, getting the makeup preservation thing in VR going. Because I would say you look better than Jason does makeup-wise today. Flat out, bar none. Good job, Megan.
And I didn't even have to tell you I loved you.
So you're talking a little bit about Oculus. I was at Oculus Connect 3 yesterday.
Oh, look at you, braggy braggerson.
I had a blast.
Oculus Connect 3.
I had a blast. To see
Palmer Luckey not appear at all whatsoever.
I noticed that you weren't there. What's up with that?
Palmer and I were out at a Vegas casino. That's why he wasn't there. Clearly, that's why he didn't show up. Something like that. No. I hung back while Kyle. I don't know if you ran into Kyle.
Interviewed Kyle for the special, actually.
I hope that he was polite to you. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on over there. I mean, there's so many games that we all got to go hands-on with. I say we, he got to do it. I'm really jealous. But there's a lot of stuff. They really want people to believe that Oculus Touch is a fully formed thing. And in this sort of, we took our time with it. That's the sales pitch at this point, is why weren't you ready when the HTC Vive was? And now they can say whether it's true or not that they had stuff cooking, that they were trying to get real full games ready in time for its November launch. Those are there. There's more stuff that's not going to be out until next year. VR is one of these weird things where the games aren't totally done yet. So everything that is being shown off at Oculus Connect looks really cool, but it's going to be coming out in stages, in waves. Whether that really pushes the mainstream into buying all this stuff or not, that's still a big question. Because again, here's my issue with the Oculus Connect events, the way they show off this VR. That is just as difficult to set up in your home as the HTC Vive, which I have a whole Vive pit over in my room, and that's crazy. It's not a convenient thing. It's cool, and I'm really glad I did it, but I think Oculus Touch, these motion controllers and the cameras they require, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how those play out in homes with your own lighting, with your own sunlight coming into the rooms, how that plays out. Because again, these webcams that they use are not the same as the HTC Vive ones. I just keep looking over there very long and like, hey guys.
I'll be with you in a second.
Yeah. But I really am curious until they give us the cameras, give us the controllers and say, hey, use this in your home with your lighting, your comfort level, other people sitting around in the room. It's still a question mark for me how they track. The tracking is so crucial. You lose yourself even a moment while holding these things. Your hand disappears or your head gets missed on the tracking. That's it. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, it'll take you right out. I can say in my time with the Oculus Touch controllers yesterday, of the three control mechanisms that I've used, it's my favorite, if only because I really enjoy the extra dimension that you get from being able to kind of track your fingers. Like in I Expect You to Die, there's a part where you have to press a button on the console. And you can't just, with another controller, you'd have to go like this and, with your fist closed and motion towards it. But with the Oculus Touch, it can track your finger. It knows that you put your finger out, and it just kind of brings you a little bit closer to that kind of immersive quality.
Well, the thing is, there's so many buttons on the thing that you're probably not going to use. The best games for these systems use very few buttons.
Agreed.
And Oculus Touch does give you that little bit of fake tracking. It's not tracking your hand totally. It's sensing sort of one of three positions, but that's still better than having to reach for and find the button. Because otherwise, the way the buttons are set up is not. You have to sort of get yourself out of virtual reality and remember, that's where the A and the B and the X and the Y and the joysticks are. It's nice to just here's my finger, here's a trigger. Let's pretend I'm in another place, and I think I want to use it. I really want to see how games have been finalized with it, because I recall my issue was in some gun games, it didn't feel like I was holding a gun. It felt like I was holding this weird futuristic orb. Mm-hmm. And so holding the orientation of the gun for me didn't quite sync up with my head. So I want to see how that pans out. But Kyle is flipping about it. He loved how it played out. I'm just going to go, give my old buddy Palmer a call, see if he can hook me up with an extra kit. Assuming he's not, doing a political speech tour this weekend, I think he'll have some time.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Sam. Always a pleasure. And yes, every single Friday. I don't know why I said almost. It's not true.
Sometimes I have to go do some chores. I have to, do some laundry. I have to write love letters to you guys. There's a lot of time that comes out of my very serious work. But now I'm going to hang up on you guys. I just got a copy of a very weird game, Shadow Warrior 2. The first one was made in the 90s. It was a Duke Nukem era game with a bunch of dumb commentary and blood everywhere. It raised my blood level a lot. I actually had to take a bath before coming on the show because it was that intense. So there will be more word on that one in the near future. So I'm going to go blood and guts over that away. I appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, man. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.